if the entire thing is shut down, this logistics is a very big sign. It will take forever. Yes, it will take a very long time.
They're at a point where they need to continue to work. They need to drive volume, and they need to get more innovative in doing that.
Canada Post lost $748 million in 2023.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Ecom Lab. I'm Madison, and today I'm here with CEO Luqman and COO Chris at Ecom Logistics. In light of the recent news, as of today, Canada Post being on strike, we are here to discuss what led Canada Post to be in their current position that they are now, and what challenges businesses have faced with Canada Post and the challenges that they're going to endure approaching this holiday season. So, Luqman, what is your take on the current position that they're in, and were you surprised about the strike announcement?
Yeah, I'm really shocked, to be honest. I recorded a video with Chris on LinkedIn yesterday. My prediction was Canada Post will not go on strike, but they did go on strike. So it's a significant blow to all the shippers, all the Canadians who are trying to send, gifts, packages to their loved ones during this peak season. They might not receive it on time. What does that mean to the delivery network? Canada Post, moves significant volume within Canada. The entire network of delivery, even if they want to take over Canada Post volume, they cannot take it. That's just the reality. Now, what does that mean for Canada Post? And to be honest, all the shippers are typically at their capacity during peak season. So nobody wants the temporary Canada Post volume.
Right.
So Canada Post, in this case, will lose significant business, which is my opinion, is very sad, especially when you're losing over close to $1 billion last year, and the deficit will be even bigger. So I hope this gets resolved quickly, and we're back to normal.
And Chris, what are your thoughts on this as well?
Yeah, I agree. I was kind of shocked. I didn't expect this to happen. And then we all heard what happened in the Montreal port, the Vancouver port. They're back to work, thankfully. Critical service there. I thought Canada Post would be handled in a similar way. I mean, that combined with 55,000 employees in this Crown Corporation, not working on the picket lines at this time of the year is not good for their families. And quite frankly, not good for Canada Post. I mean, Canada Post has been losing significant amounts of money year over year. They're at a point where they need to continue to work. They need to drive volume, and they need to get more innovative in doing that. I know it's frustrating and challenging for them to evolve as quick as the industry is evolving. But I was shocked that they would take this course of action. So I think somebody will step in. I don't think this will be long standing, and hopefully we'll get back onto business. As a logistics operator, it's just another day in the office, and dealing with turmoil seems to be something that we've become very good at. So I don't think there's a real cause for concern. There's lots of alternative networks out there, and I think from the announcement standpoint, we're all ready to keep business rolling.
Yeah, just to touch on Chris' point, if this strike continues maybe just for another couple of days, the impact will last throughout the peak. Just because the sheer amount of volume they move from, shipper dropping it off from whether it's a store or dropping it off to the hub, and then hub then sorting it, dropping it off to our distribution center. If the entire thing is shut down, this logistics is a very big sign. It will take forever. Yes, It will take a very long time.
So on that note, what do you think this will affect for their customer experience and the businesses that are with Canada Post? How will this affect their customer experience?
Yeah, it's going to be a significant impact on Canada Post. Of course, all the customers, they want to provide a service to their customers or end consumers. We had to send out a notification to all of our customers that we will not be shipping Canada Post because they're going on strike. Canada Post already losing close to $1 billion, I think last year. I'm surprised that they have gotten to this point. So significant impact on revenue, significant impact on service. I'm sure, some of the customers had to abandon Canada Post, and some might not even come back. So, and I think UPS and FedEx are a very good spot, picking and choosing who they want,
Yeah.
right? And then Canada, it's unfortunate for Canada Post, they will lose significant business.
Mm. And on that, with all the loss of money that Canada Post has been having, like the billions of dollars that you were talking about, so where's the money coming from then to keep them afloat?
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, you're right. Look, it's coming from our own pocket, from the taxpayer's pocket. Right. So, yeah. So this is where I'm really surprised. Like, I know from my personal experience, I know a few 3PLs that were also involved in a last mile space, and Canada Post denied or stopped servicing them. And then guess who they went to? They went to other carriers like FedEx, UPS, Canpar, and then Canada Post lost that business. Right. So there's something needs to be fundamentally changed in Canada Post, where the direction they're heading to. They need to accept business. They should not be denying business, especially if you're losing $1 billion a year.
And I mean, listen, the story didn't happen just now in 2024. It's been happening over the last decade. We've seen a huge decline in letter mail and a shift towards parcel delivery. The numbers that I heard were, 18 years ago, it was 5.5 billion letter mail pieces, now declined to around 2 billion, 2.2 billion this year. And always going lower, never coming back again. And that's in favor of how consumers are shopping, right? They're shopping online. They want the convenience. They want the speed of parcel delivery. And so that's where, Canada Post really has a lack of innovation happening in its network from where we're sitting as a small business serving small merchants. We lead with the consumer in mind. We lead with customer-facing solutions. It brings us into whole different operational programs and the tech stack that is modern, versatile, and flexible for today's needs.
And so, Chris, on that, what do you think Ecom Logistics is doing for innovation? And what is Canada Post lacking more on that?
I mean, listen, we understand why we're important to the market and how we help merchants, and it's about speed. It's about speed. It's about low cost. It's about flexibility. We operate 7 days a week. We operate from 7 a.m. till as late as 10 p.m. in the evening, and that's because there's a demand for people to consume goods and services online. We need to be in the back end making those things happen. I think further, it's the digital layer and the two-way communication. Brands want experiences. It's no longer acceptable to just end the journey at the buy button. It's get it to my front door, get it in a certain way, and have it be seamless and have it entertain the customer in a way that brand represents itself. So along the journey, notifications, tracking, proof of delivery electronically, hitting apps and notifying customers of what is happening is paramount, and they expect us 24/7.
So I know that consumers value sustainability. So Chris, what's your point on that?
Yeah, today sustainability is key, right? In all facets of our operation, consumers are actually putting their money where their mouth is. They see sustainability as the only path forward. As we enjoy all the consumptions and the conveniences of online shopping, they recognize that we can no longer do it the way we have been doing it. So EV vehicles, for us at Ecom, are paramount. We use them. About 25% of all of our deliveries are on EV vehicles. And that's important to us, and it's important to the merchants we serve. And then even going beyond that, EV vehicles are pretty obvious solutions. We are working with merchants on packaging. How shippable is your package? If it's going local in the same day, we don't need as much packaging, so we can avoid the use of some of these materials. We also look at other things like route optimization. I mean, pretty standard in the industry today, but we take a great deal of pride and effort around creating efficient routes, reducing the mileage that we actually have to go and incur by consolidating various merchants into a single route, having mixed delivery methods of pickup, drop-off, and returns on the same route, just getting that utility up reducing carbon emissions along every journey is important. So yeah, just a few of the key things that we're doing that are super important to us, and we know consumers value as well.
And Luqman, what's your take on that?
Yeah, so at Ecom, we fundamentally believe on sustainability. That's why we have one of the aggressive mission or goals to be emission-free by 2030. And we are well on our way to achieve that goal. We currently service, as Chris mentioned, 25% of any deliveries that we get from all our customers are delivered on EV vehicle. I don't think there's any other company at the moment that doing it at that scale. So we're being very aggressive, and for the right reason. There's a lot of other competitors that are thinking to move in this direction on the sustainability side for the right reasons. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, as Chris mentioned in his previously that it's all about innovation and where is the industry heading? And consumers are demanding sustainability. There was a research that I saw on LinkedIn. Consumers are willing to wait, or 60% of the consumers are willing to wait if they get a sustainability delivery option. I think 40% of them are willing to pay extra if they get a sustainability option while they're checking out. So this demand is being generated by consumer. So if, as a courier company, you do not provide that, you are actually going to end up losing that business.
And so on that note, do you think that Canada Post is stuck in old ways and not able to move forward and be innovative like us? And what would you say like your key takeaways are from?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's challenging, right? Logistics is never easy. It sounds simple. The pace of change, as we've all been discussing, is fast and furious, and it's based on the exponential changing of consumer behaviors that are driving it. But beyond that, I think what has to start to happen, where Canada Post needs to start, and I'm not an expert in telling Canada Post what to do, obviously, but we just believe that diversification of the network, finding new alternatives and new ways has to become the norm. Be it Canada Post, be it at Ecom Logistics, be it our partners in industry, everyone's committing to a level of change that's unprecedented right now. And I think if you're not doing that, you may find yourself not getting the demand and getting the volume you need to create a sustainable network. Networks are changing. They're ecosystems. There's lots of players involved in all aspects of it. There's not one single player who will dominate control. We think it's about partnerships, and it's about understanding exactly where you fit within the e-commerce ecosystem.
Look, if I was Canada Post, my first goal would be how do I break even? I think that's the very first thing they need to focus on. And then rightly mentioned, the innovation, providing various solutions to different customers will derive that revenue. And flexibility is the key. You can't be denying customers or denying a service to certain customers if you're not even breaking even. So for me, that would be the goal one for Canada Post.
That's a great point. The most obvious of the day, right, is like you've got to start with the facts. You've got to start with the financial feasibility of the business model. And as much as things are changing, get back to brass tacks. And I think if you do that, you start. That's where innovation lives. Innovation lives in problems.
Right.
How do you solve the problems of the day? And for Canada Post, I mean, the pretty big one, obvious one, is you're losing lots of money. And at a time when demands are shifting, you need to get back to getting all the demand you can muster up.
So, in final thoughts, then, what would, Luqman, your advice be to e-commerce businesses during this time?
Yeah. So look, as I mentioned earlier, it's a tough time. I think this news has been around for a while. I hope most of you have already have the alternative solutions available. If not, there's still an opportunity. Christmas is still about a month away. So I would look at different various options. I know Ecom have multiple options. I know there's multiple other companies that provide different solutions. So in logistics space, it's all about planning. I think we have very smart shippers. They have already contingency plans in place. Everyone was sort of expecting this. Some of you that do not have anything set up, feel free to reach out to Ecom Logistics, or there's multiple other regional carriers. I would reach out to them. and see what their capacity is like, and then find a solution. So hopefully Canada Post, this whole strike gets resolution soon, and then we're back to normal. But again, this impact, even a couple more days, will last throughout the peak.
Yeah, I think the wave will be with us for a little bit. I hope the strike doesn't last that long. I think we're kind of lucky in Canada. We have some great alternative options for shippers and for merchants. I think we'll get through it just fine. And listen, entrepreneurial innovation is alive and well, right? Where there's issues, there's opportunities. And I think that's what you're going to see at play right now is a lot of new opportunities emerging quite quickly to fill the void, quite frankly, because e-commerce is not slowing down. The way we shop is more online than ever before. I think we'll get through it just fine in the end.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Luqman, for your valuable knowledge and insights today. So we hope some of this information helped you guys out there, and we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for the first episode today. I'm Madison, and see you next time.